The too long didn't read of this video is that all the economic indicators they're using are incorrect. Unemployment numbers. Most people know this, but I don't know if you know how bad it is. All right, so I want to take a look at a comparison of this chart. I believe most people know this, but it needs to be in here so we can really see the difference, because there's what we call official unemployment numbers. There's U3 and U6. You might want to call it U1, U3, U6. U6 is much more closer to the real accurate numbers. What is often missed when we're talking about the unemployment numbers, jobs numbers, participation rate, is really what type of jobs are we really talking about here? I mean, are we just looking for having a lot of jobs? Because if you take a look at the top employers, either in the United States or worldwide, I don't think you'd actually find that these are the kind of jobs, companies that you'd want to work for. I mean, how many people go to college in order to work for Walmart and Amazon? How many people have to sacrifice their life in the military in order to have a military job? Because the number one employer in the world is the U.S. Defense Department. Here, why don't we take a look at what Indeed says are the 25 top jobs right now in America. Number 1, cashier. Is anyone really shooting to be a cashier? Is that what we want to create as an entire economy of cashiers? Food preparation work. Well, I mean, everybody does need to eat. That doesn't mean everyone has to work for everybody else so they can eat. Stocking shelves at a retail location or an Amazon warehouse is a noble feat and very difficult work. And I think most people who take on that job would like to see themselves be promoted to something where they don't have to work that hard at some point. But that's the third most common job in the US right now. 4th is a laborer. That has to do with construction, and being a laborer is a way you get into the construction industry and you're able to kind of get experience, become a carpenter, perhaps a general contractor, and work your way up. So that one is hard work. You get your body beat up every single day. Not often do you get paid sick time off if you get hurt. And a lot of times you're dealing with chemicals, materials that nobody's really insuring for you for the long run. Number 5 is a janitor. Number 6, construction worker, right there with laborer. I'm cool with that. Bookkeeper. Okay, you need somebody to count the beans. So bean counters, number 7. A server of food. That's number 8. A medical assistant. It's all right, we have to have our health care. And then number 10, a bartender serving alcohol to patrons at a restaurant, just like these. These are our top 10 careers. And I think that when we start talking about employment figures and the economy looks strong and everybody is employed and looking for jobs, I mean, these aren't the type of jobs that we were raised to go to college with specialized industries and to pay, hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loan debt in order to become a bartender. That's not why we went to college. So you can't have a specialized workforce and then throw out a bunch of service industry jobs and then tell everybody the economy's strong, there's plenty of jobs out there. And what we know very clearly is that we have to look at how many job vacancies are out there. And that is a more clear indication of economic unemployment during downtrends and recessionary times. And we're going to have to be using that a little bit more common. And of course, that one's manipulated too. Okay. Why do these unemployment numbers always seem to not reflect the economic conditions and the inflation around us? And it's because they're constantly being tweaked and constantly being lied about. unemployment numbers are incorrect. They always have been. They always are going to. And number 4, consumer sentiment. Oh, Jesus, if this is not the most arbitrary, foolish number that you could ever hear of. So Michigan State Consumer Sentiment Index is so old and antiquated of something that we shouldn't even put an ounce of attention into it. I mean, most of those people are answering the calls by landline. They call 500 people a month, and they ask them 5 questions about how they feel about their economic situation and what's going on with the world, or has their life improved or unimproved over the past year. They call 40% of the same people, and 60% of them are new people. Now, I'm sure I've never gotten this phone call, and I'm sure none of you have ever gotten this phone call. But how easy would it be to just set your Rolodex on the same 1,000 people and rotate it from one month to the other, or keeping some the same and then, going back to others before, and just basically having the same demographic of people answering the same question as well. You can then focus that demographic in on people that watch a lot of Fox News or MSNBC or any of the mainstream media, people that stay off of YouTube, stay away from alternative media. So then they're able to gauge and actually manipulate consumer sentiment based on the media narrative and what's going on with the news that they trickle in to let somebody know if the economy is doing good or doing bad. So as the economy is going down, as the stock market's going down, they have this condition in the mainstream to be able to explain,